Yes, gaming is for everyone. I know there's a stigma out there that some people have to go around thinking that gaming is only for a certain crowd. A lot of people still out there think gaming is only for kids to an adult type of audience. It's not for grown-ups. When people see grown-ups playing video games, they're like, aren't you too old to be playing video games? Why are you playing video games? I thought only kids play video games and teenagers play video games. So why are you still playing video games in your 20s, 30s, and even 40s? Why are you playing video games? I remember back in the day, back in my middle school and high school, even during those times, a lot of people would still look down on people who were playing video games when they were 16, 17, 18. They're like, there's no way a kid should be playing video games. And everybody who was playing video games back in my middle school and high school were pretty much called nerds because a lot of people thought video games were just solely for kids and teenagers. They weren't really for those type of crowds, and it does suck that a lot of people still have a stigma where they think video games are for kids. It's kind of already been proven if you look at how many people play video games. The age bracket is a little bit older than what you would think. Video games are actually for around 20 to 30 year olds. That's the typical type of people who are playing video games now. If you look at the actual age bracket, you don't actually see a lot of kids playing video games or a lot of teens playing video games. A lot of people who grew up with video games are now continuing to play video games, but the newer generation of kids and teenagers aren't really playing video games like you think they are. So that's kind of rendered dumb, and it's kind of already proven that that's not really the case anymore. But this video actually is much more evidence that video games are for everybody. It looks like there's this 87-year-old grandmother who currently plays Animal Crossing New Leaf on the 3DS, and I actually have the video to show you that she does play Animal Crossing New Leaf. Now, this video that this guy made could be a pretend video, and he could have staged this whole thing with her 87-year-old grandma, but I doubt he staged it with her grandma, because if you take a look at the video, which I'm going to show you now, it does look like the grandma knows what she's doing when it comes to Animal Crossing New Leaf. So take a look at the footage that I found of this grandmother playing Animal Crossing New Leaf back on the 3DS.
And so I'm starting it. This is Audrey, my 87-year-old grandmother, who's been playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on her Nintendo 3DS for the past, what, has it been 4 years now?
Yeah.
And have you played every day?
Almost every day.
Almost every day?
I missed a couple when I was sick or something.
Oh, okay. So you've only missed a couple days. That's really impressive. And you've had it since Christmas of 2015, but you've had your 3DS longer than that. And here's your old 3DS. This is the one. This is the one that broke. You dropped it, and you had it taped up. And we wanted to get you a new one because you couldn't close this one anymore. So, someone from Reddit who lived in Germany sold me this brand new. It was basically a brand new 3DS. It looks just about exactly like your old one, except it has little decals on it. And they sent us this nice letter, which reads. Hi, Paul. I hope everything arrived all right, and your grandmother will be very happy about her Christmas present.
So as you can see from the video right there, it definitely looks like the grandmother knew what she was doing when it comes to Animal Crossing New Leaf. Now, I didn't show you the whole video because the whole video was about 28 minutes long, so it's a very long video. But from what I'm looking, she likes playing Animal Crossing, and when she plays Animal Crossing, it looks like from the title of the video as well, it looks like she's putting over like 3,000 hours into Animal Crossing New Leaf on the 3DS, so she does like playing Animal Crossing. I guess it's that type of relaxing game which anybody can get into, and she's much more older, so of course it kind of makes sense she would want to be into that type of game. It looks like it would suit her. It looks like she had a blast playing that game, so props to her grandmother for liking Animal Crossing New Leaf. And yes, this pretty much already defunks the whole thing about video games are for kids or for just teenagers. They're for adults too, and video games can be good for the soul, and they can be relaxing, and they could be a great time waster. I honestly don't understand why people give video games a bad stigma, because anything can be like video games. What about watching TV or reading a book or listening to music? What's the difference between someone watching a TV show? They're just not pressing buttons on a controller. But video games, you're pressing buttons on a controller and staring at a TV. It's kind of the same thing as watching like Netflix or watching a TV program. The only difference is you're not controlling something on the screen. I don't really understand. And why do people have to hate on video games? Why don't you let video games alone? Why don't you leave video games alone? Really what it boils down to, as long as you're having fun with this this type of entertainment. Who should really care what type of entertainment you like to enjoy on your spare time? I don't understand why video games, out of every type of entertainment, always gets this type of slack and gets this type of hate. You don't really see people saying, well, Netflix is for kids or music's for toddlers. Why is it always video games that gets this bad stigma? Also, if you go back to the video that I showed you, you can see that apparently from the titles, like I said, she's already put in over 3,000 hours. I can't confirm or deny that, but I don't see why she couldn't have put 3,000 hours, especially when you're a little bit older in your life. Most likely you are retired from whatever you were doing in your life, so of course all your free time could be spent playing the game. And on top of that, you have to realize the 3DS is a handheld system, so she could take it wherever she goes. I don't know if she's that type of person that can still like fully walk or like has enough motion to walk, because when you get older, of course, your bones stop moving the same and things like that. So she could be a stay-at-home grandmother who just sits there and plays Animal Crossing in her spare time all the time. But props to his grandmother for actually her playing the Animal Crossing New Leaf now. Of course, you guys know a new Animal Crossing is coming out on the Nintendo Switch this year, confirmed, unless they delay it. But most likely, they're probably not going to delay Animal Crossing on the Nintendo Switch. And that grandmother is already 87-year-old, and she's pretty much, sad to say this, but she's pretty much like on her last life, or on life support, because she could die at any moment right now and she won't get to experience the new Animal Crossing. I'm hoping that the new Animal Crossing comes out before she actually passes away, and I hope she gets to enjoy that for a couple years after the game releases, because I know she would be very happy if a new Animal Crossing probably came out for the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if she owns a Nintendo Switch, and it looks like from that video her people from Reddit were just super kind to actually give her a new 3DS. It looks like her old 3DS actually bit the dust. If you look at that video, I didn't really show you all too much, but it looks like people on Reddit were actually thrilled to see a grandmother playing video games, let alone Animal Crossing, and they donated her a brand new 3DS. So props to the gaming community. I must say the gaming community is flat out fantastic for just deciding to give this person's grandmother a brand new 3DS and continue to let her game and play her favorite game, which is Animal Crossing New Leaf. Honestly, this does bring this is pretty a heartwarming story to know that somebody's grandmother is playing Animal Crossing New Leaf and playing video games, and it just overall just makes me happy, and it pretty much proves that video games are for everybody. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News signing out. Peace.